with this white growth. This white growth is growing inside these vaccine recipients, and it takes the shape, the exact shape of the artery very slowly over time. So, well, first of all, I'll show you just a fraction of the sample that, can you see that clearly?
I can see that clearly. If you keep holding it there. Now you're saying you found this specifically in someone's artery.
Yes, in a 30-year-old's artery. The biggest part was in his aorta, which was around, I would say, 85% blocked, and that's probably why he died.
Can I ask you a question for the layman really quickly? What would a normal blood clot look? Would it be that size typically? Or?
No, a normal blood clot would be very dark, and it would have the consistency of blancmange, where if I pressed my finger into it, it would just fall to bits. I could wash it down a sink.
Right.
These are very much like calamari in their consistency and their elasticity. They're very tough, and they're not going to be broken down by any anticoagulants, I can tell you. Now, if I open up 10 people, let's take 10 people, some of them will have arteries as big as my little finger, real big arteries. We call these kind of cattle arteries because they're huge.
Right.
They will have really low blood pressure as a direct result. Some of people will have arteries about like a straw, and everything in between. It's a broad spectrum. Now, if you take 10 kids and they're all born on the same day, they're all going to grow at different rates. So if we've got a situation where vaccine recipients are growing this stuff inside their arteries, and they are, it's been proven beyond a doubt. Have a look at Richard Hirschman. He's got dozens of samples that he's shown and documented and from deceased vaccine recipients. Now, different people will grow this stuff at different rates. If you grow this stuff inside your body quite swiftly and you have narrow arteries, the end result is clear. And this is why we're seeing a record number of footballers, athletes, and sportsmen either dying or being forced to retire, over the last 18 months that have been vaccinated.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
So I was going to ask you a question, because this is one of those things where if someone says, well, actually, this has happened both in vaccinated and unvaccinated, it could be the direct result of COVID and the nature of the spike protein, which, of course, we know occurs organically as well. Do you have any data on that? Have you seen this in any patients who are not vaccinated, or is it exclusive to vaccinated individuals?
So the only one person, the guy who's done the most studies on this is Richard Hirschman. He's kept records. The only person that he found that had this inside them that was unvaccinated was a guy that had been involved in a serious automobile accident, and he'd had 3 surgeries, and he'd had blood donated from vaccine recipients.
Okay. And that's that's an outlier.
Yeah. So he's picked that. Yeah, of course. If they're going to take blood donations from vaccinated people, that's then going to be transferred into whoever receives the blood, and that's what happened in the case of this young man. He was either 29 or 39. He did tell me, I can't remember.